Hi, I'm Novel Mike, and this is my first video. I originally wanted to just do an introductory video, and I don't think that was working for me. So I'm mostly just going to do a free run at this and see how this goes. What I'm going to be doing with my videos is trying to find specific things to talk about that I think are important in the gaming industry and share my thoughts on them. And I'm going to start that with Dungeon Keeper and the new one that EA released on mobile. This is a little bit after that's all fallen through, but I think I might have a different spin on it that you may not be expecting. So, for those who don't know, Dungeon Keeper is an older series that was on PC that was made by Bullfrog, and now EA owns it. And they decided they're going to do an updated version on mobile phones. And, you know, there's been complaints about the art style, and it's a lot more colorful and not as dark and dreary as it was, but I don't think that's important. The main important thing is the game's kind of a scam. That's just the nicest way I can say it. It's really, really bad. You have to pretty much... The original idea of Dungeon Keeper was that you would make a dungeon and you would fill it with traps and monsters and you would wait for heroes to come and attack it, and then you'd see how it all plays out. And EA's interpretation of that, and I can't say the damn word, EA has decided to make of that what they will, and they have released a version that does that. But to expand your dungeon, you have to make it, and you have to like hollow out different parts of the dungeon to make your rooms and all that. And you have to wait anywhere from 4 hours to 24 hours for that to happen. And needless to say, people have a problem with that. But don't worry, it's EA, so of course it gets worse. They decide that, okay, 4 to 24 hours, no big deal, you know, just pay us, and then we'll let you advance faster. And pay them up to like $70 to remove like 50 blocks, which wouldn't even be a whole dungeon, even close to it. So this game is being released as free to play, and this is a common thing in mobile markets. What's irritating is that EA is doing this with a well-known well, not well-known, but cult classic series that people do like, and kind of just using that name in order to try and sell it to people who may have played the game back in, you know, when it first came out. And I'll be completely honest, I think it's terrible. I'm sad that it exists. You can read Jim Sterling's review on The Escapist about it. It's pretty entertaining. But there is a positive in all of this, and that's what I want to focus on in my videos, is finding that little silver lining. And specifically with this, I think that this has actually brought attention to a series that was basically dead for all intents and purposes. You never really saw people mention Dungeon Keeper, maybe every now and then on a podcast about something that was kind of like it, but it wasn't really brought up or talked about. And because of this game being as terrible as it was and getting the notoriety that it did and the infamy, it's brought attention back to a series that's pretty much been ignored or just put to the side, that actually seems to be really good. I have not played them, but that's one thing this whole thing has done, is I'm going to try them now. And I think I'm not alone in that. I think this is actually going to bring in a lot of new fans, or at least a lot of new players, to a series that pretty much has just stayed dormant for such a long time. It may not get anyone a new Dungeon Keeper game that they actually want to play, but at the very least it is going to get people to at least start talking about a game that's really had not been on anyone's mind really in a long time. And I think that's a really positive thing about the whole experience. Despite how bad the new game is, it's great that other people are going to go back and play the old one. And I don't think that we see too many things like that happen most of the time. We always try to focus on the bad things. We always focus on what's, you know, bad about the situation, and that's what everyone's been focusing on with this Dungeon Keeper story, is that how dare EA do this, even though it's EA and it's completely expected. And don't get me wrong, that does not forgive them for any reason for doing it, but it should be kind of expected when EA is involved that they're going to do something like this. I mean, they won Worst Company in America 2 years in a row for a reason. Gamers do not like them. But yeah, I mean, that's what I want these videos to mostly be about, is finding that little silver lining. And I do think this is a really good example of it, because yes, everyone is focused on the bad things with this game, and they are very right to do so. But there is always something good that we may not talk about enough. And that's what I kind of want to do. I want to talk about the little silver lining, and I want to share my opinion about it, and try to find good things in the really negative stories, and try to bring to light more positive things, because I think as an industry we are very, very negative. And I don't think that's healthy, and I think that's part of what's bred the whole craziness that people exist online with just people screaming at each other and yelling at each other and arguing about everything for no real purpose, and nothing is ever resolved. So I want to have more open discussions. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about my opinions, obviously, but I want to know about things that matter to you. And if you find something that you want me to talk about, share it with me, and I may talk about it. And I don't know if this is going to be popular enough to even warrant me saying such a thing, but, you know, I want good things to come from this. And I'm doing this because I want my voice heard. I want to... as a person who watches a lot of YouTube videos and likes a lot of people that are on YouTube and on different gaming sites, we always seem to focus on the terrible things, the negative. And I want to be the person that at least tries to focus on something positive in everything, because I don't think there's really enough people doing that, and I think we always get swept up in the bad things. We don't pay enough attention to the good things that happen. Not just the good things that happen in bad stories, but good things in general. And that's what I'm going to try to do, and I hope that you like what I have to say. And if you do, I hope you'll comment, share this, like this, all that. This is, again, my first video. I don't really know too much what I'm doing. I'm just doing this with a webcam. This is mostly going to be vlogs, as I don't have that kind of creativity to really edit very well, and I don't have the software for it either. And I want to talk about other things too, but I think that's a good place to stop for now. Because I think hopefully you get at least a little bit of an idea of where I'm coming from and what I'm going to do with this. And I hope that you like what I have to say. And if you don't, tell me why. And if you do, tell me why. I have all the time in the world to read your comments. Not really, but I will read them. Thanks. Bye.